All right, guys. So we're gonna actually watch the Dave Chappelle acceptance speech at the Mark Twain Prize, whatever the fuck that is. I don't even know. But I think like it's kind of like it was like revolving around him, where they're like kind of giving him props for his whole career and all that shit. And I know a lot of fucking famous people turned out, and I watched this speech. I'm not gonna say I didn't, but Mike hasn't, and I really wanted to fucking show him because I thought, in my mind, when I watched it on my own, like I broke a fucking tear like maybe a couple of times. Swear to God. Also, it was like super funny, and I think it's probably one of the most like best speeches just as an orator or whatever like that I've ever fucking witnessed. So let's fucking enough fucking hyping up. Let's check it out. One, two, three.
Thank you. Thank you. I like not knowing what's going to happen. I like making memories. Sometimes I do all this crazy around my colleagues just so that they can tell their friends I did it.
That's his wife and his
But
kid.
rather than talk about myself, just briefly, I want to just talk about my genre. Stand-up comedy is an incredibly American genre. I don't think any other country could produce this many comedians. And unbeknownst to many people in this audience, I don't think there's opinion that it exists in this country that is not represented in a comedy club by somebody. Each and every one of you has a champion in the room. We watch you guys fight, but when we're together, we talk it out. I know comics that are very racist, and I watch them on stage, and everyone's laughing, and I'm like, that mother means that. Don't get mad at them, don't hate them. We go upstairs and have a beer, and sometimes I even appreciate the artistry that they paint their racist opinions with. Man, it's not that serious. The First Amendment is first for a reason. The Second Amendment is just in case the first one doesn't work out. We gotta let some air out of the ball, man. The country's getting a little tight. It doesn't feel like it's ever felt in my lifetime. So tonight, I am honored that my colleagues are here in comedy and in music. And I want everyone in America right now to look at me. Look at me smoking indoors. I didn't ask anybody, I just did it. What are they gonna do? Kick me out before I get the prize? No, nigga, this is called leverage. The thing that I liked best about tonight was that I saw so many people from different parts of my life, like friends that I grew up with here in DC, friends of mine from Ohio then and now, friends of mine from comedy clubs, all the musicians that blew my mind. You guys have no idea how you inspired me. I want to give a special shout out to my OG, Tony Woods. Miles Davis has a quote. It's one of my favorite. Miles Davis said so much cool shit, but one of the things he said I always loved, he said, it took me years to learn how to play like myself. You know, he would watch other musicians, and he would try to play like Dizzy or Bird or all the guys who were great. Tony Woods was my Dizzy and Bird if I was a Miles. I was trying to play like you. You were the first person I ever saw do it absolutely right. You were fearless, and you told the truth. There's something so true about this genre, when done correctly, that I will fight anybody that gets a true practitioner of this art form's way, because I know you're wrong. This is the truth, and you are obstructing it. I'm not talking about the content, I'm talking about the art form. Do you understand? Do we have an agreement? And what I really wanted to say tonight, and I'm glad I get the platform to do it, I'm gay. I am gay, and I can't wait to see what this does for my career, being gay like this. So many special shout outs. One of the main architects of the comeback of the century, my brother and my mentor, the mighty Stan Lathan. I never dreamed that I would be able to work with someone as great as you. These last 5 specials, straight fire. I wouldn't want to do another special with anybody else but you. So eat your mother vegetables and live as long as you can, because we doing a few more of these bitches. Neil Brennan, your speech made me cry because it reminded me of all those hard days of work and all that money I never got for it. The other real special shout out I gotta make, because none of this would have been possible on any level without this person, is my mother. Mom. My mother. Mom. You have no idea what I put this woman through. If you had just given birth to me, that would have been more than enough. But the fact that you raised me and raised me well, we had a real oral tradition in our house. I knew the word griot when I was a little boy. A griot was a person in Africa who's charged with keeping the stories of the village. Everyone would tell a griot the stories, and they would remember them all so that they could tell future generations. And when they got old, they'd tell them to someone else. And they say in Africa, when a griot dies, it's like a library was burnt down. And my mother used to tell me, before I ever thought about doing comedy, she said, you should be a griot. And she'd fill me with every story of black life. You know, she's educated in African-American studies, and she would let me understand the context that I was being raised in, that I'm being raised in a hostile environment that I have to tame. By the time I was 14 years old, I was in nightclubs, mastering an adult world. It was terrifying. The crack epidemic was going on, and my mother would hear gunshots outside and be scared to death. Maybe it's my son. But early in my career, if you remember, Mom, you used to sit in the club with me. She'd do a full day of work. You'd be back there falling asleep, just waiting for me to go on. She would watch my show every night. Do you know how long that car ride is home? How many of you have ever heard your mother say, jokes were a little too much tonight, son? I was a soft kid. I was sensitive, I'd cry easy, and I would be scared to fist fight. And my mother used to tell me this thing, I don't even know if you remember, but you said this to me more than once. You said, son, sometimes you have to be a lion so you can be the lamb you really are. I talk this like a lion. I'm not afraid of any of you. When it comes word to word, I will gab with the best of them, just so I can chill and be me. And that's why I love my art form, because I understand every practitioner of it. Whether I agree with them or not, I know where they're coming from. They want to be heard. They got something to say. There's something they notice. They just want to be understood. Love this genre. It saved my life. So tonight, Mom, I would like to honor you in a very special way that I cannot do on my own. But because now I'm a man with great and influential friends, I'd like to ask my man Thundercat to come out on the stage. Thundercat, the Mighty Most Def. Amazing. Washington, D.C., thank you very much for giving me a home and a place to start. Today is officially Dave Chappelle Day in Washington, D.C. The mayor declared it last night. So, in the future, on Dave Chappelle Day, I ask everyone who wishes to celebrate it to make one incredible memory for themselves and or somebody else. Thank you very much. Good night.
I loved that.
The shit was good, right?
That was amazing. It was so uplifting, and like, man, he rocks the mic so perfectly. It doesn't matter if he's doing a comedy routine or whatever. He's just so authentic and so genuine. And his mom had
that shit with his mom when he was like mouthing the stuff back to his mom, bro. Oh my god. Well, that's the first time I watched it, bro. I broke that moment. I fucking started crying like a bitch.
Oh, man, it's a very special moment, man, for him to be able to share that. And like, man, like that was beautiful to hear. He pulled the curtain back for us. He told us things that weren't common knowledge if you didn't already know that about his mother and what she used to do for him. And like,
and his mindset, you know,
it speaks so much to his upbringing and the way that his nurture was around his mother, and like that was a really special moment.
I love that
and
whole griot shit, bro. Like that's so nice. That's so deep. Like I don't know.
It
man,
is. It
I'm
means a lot
fascinated.
to him. Like it's
Fascinated.
very fascinating, and he's able to take his mother's depth of knowledge of African American studies
Right.
and apply it to his comedy in a way. Because you can't claim he's ignorant. He's educated.
No. People forget.
He's educated,
like,
but
bro,
he's just has a funny way of looking at the world, and it's literally
he's
funny.
coming like from literally such an educated family, right? Like his mom's a professor or some shit in a university. His dad was a professor, I think. I think both of his siblings are as well, like very well educated. I think like he was making a joke back, like on Inside the Actors Studio, or whatever. If you guys remember that show, he was saying like I'm the first guy in my family not to get a fucking college education. You know?
Yeah,
So-
I feel that. That's funny. And like, I mean, there's different types of intelligence out here,
Oh,
right?
no, of
And
course.
I think it's really cool to see how he took conventional wisdom and flipped it on its head and turned it into unconventional, very witty jokes. He took skill and passion and found his crossroads of his life calling, and it's really special when you get to the precipice of your industry and you're able to thank your mother publicly like that while accepting
That
a
was
very honorable
amazing, man.
prize.
That was
So
amazing.
big shout out to Dave Chappelle for accepting a prize in a way that most people wouldn't be able to just so effortlessly grasp the audience.
Nah.
None of that was prepared. He
Bro,
just came in.
acceptance speeches, every time I've watched ever before an acceptance speech, it's been like super like cookie cutter, like super boring. You're like, fucking whatever. Yeah, okay, get it over with. Like play them out with the music or whatever, you know what I'm saying? I know this was a more of a special kind of acceptance speech in general. They gave him more time on stage, but like I think he's just like one of the best speakers that exists right now.
Right. I agree. That was awesome. Let us know how you feel about seeing Dave Chappelle in this slightly different light and being a little bit more vulnerable. Just down below, and maybe leave some links to some stuff you want us to watch from Dave Chappelle. But we'll watch the comment section and we'll engage with you guys there.
All right, guys, peace out.
Peace.